It's a little too hot to sleep, so we were laying here, and probably for the past 6 weeks, he's just been like dumping like knowledge, these mysteries to me at night. But if you've watched my videos, you know in many of them, God would say what a badass he is. And when I went to heaven, that was like one of my strongest memories, was just like looking at what I was seeing and saying, oh my God, he's such a badass. So anyway, I haven't had memory of what I witnessed in heaven. I just have hints of it, and I know a lot of it had to do with the Bible and how unbelievably complex and profound the secrets behind the Bible. So today, this show came on about Catholicism and the Latin Mass, and the man said a prayer in Latin, and I know there's been some issues in the Catholic Church with the Latin Mass. And that reminded me of Latin, and God signed me up for Latin in high school. And I was awful at it, but I got the gist of it, and it's helped me with my English. And I also was thinking about this documentary series I watched with Mary Beard about Rome and the Romans. And she reads Latin, and she, in many of these episodes, would go to tombstones and just read off what it said. And with my previous Latin knowledge from high school and her knowledge, I watched it like 2 or 3 times. God must have inspired me to do it. Anyway, every time, well, primarily the last time I saw it, I guess he wanted to make sure that I got that extra stuff, because the last time I saw it, I thought to myself, wow, Latin is such a simple language, and they spoke so directly. Like these tombstones, even if you didn't hardly know Latin, you could kind of figure it out with just a basic understanding of English or Spanish. And that just surprised me. I felt closer to these people because what they wrote on their graves was, it was funny, it was simple. It, it just struck me. So about shortly after this started, I found a book on my Amazon suggested list called, it's by Timothy P. Smith, and it's either called The God Code or God Code. One of them's from me, one of them's not. I'd get the Timothy P. Smith one. And as I was reading it, I had all these flashbacks of heaven. And anyway, he has a fabulous story about having to meet an angel and going to, I think, Canada, and this angel gave him these directions, and he ended up discovering that with the right computer level of supercomputer, that he found code in the Bible, like the history of the earth was encoded in the Hebrew Bible, right? This book was mind-blowing. And for some reason, it's not easy to Well, I guess he made a series on it, but I can't find it anywhere. Anyway, it's hot. So, tonight, I was laying here thinking about this code and the Bible and then Latin, and Bat Lover right now is doing this whole study of, she's a language person, and all the different meanings of Satan and uses, and I was thinking about language, and I started to think about the Bible and how hard it is to read. And then I'm thinking about how God talks to me. And then I'm remembering the video I made yesterday about how he wrote everything backwards. And then someone made a comment today that Hebrew was God's language. And I was like, actually, he wrote the story backwards. Modern day American English is his preferred language. So, his language is modern day English because he wrote the story backwards. The question is, how did it end up this way? So listen to this, okay? I know he didn't give me all the information, but I want to pass it on because it's, whoa, what a badass. Okay. So he wanted to get us where we're at today, but he had to accomplish things along the way. So what he did was, you ready for this? He created Hebrew in the form it was written in the Bible, and he created the language itself, the letters, everything, so that sometime in the near future, a supercomputer can decode the entire thing. And that is why, as you're reading, especially the Old Testament, there are so many words that look totally pointless. So many bizarre names. This is not just random. It's not just a cultural change. It's not just that they used language differently. He needed all that there's some repetition. There's all kinds of stuff going on that a good author would not have written that way. They would have been more concise, clear, less repetitive. We didn't need to know all these names. Those things are in the Bible not because they're necessarily important, but because when read in Hebrew by a supercomputer, the supercomputer can decode the history of the universe, really. I think he's hinting there's some scientific discoveries. So anyway, then I was thinking, well, okay, the Hebrew Bible, blah, blah, blah. But he's repeatedly told me that the King James Bible also has code that a supercomputer can read. So then I thought it through, and I was thinking, okay, I really don't think the Hebrew was quite as difficult. I gotta turn my fan on. I'm sorry. My poor dog. The Hebrew had to match the Old English, the King James English, in translation, letter by letter. Because he just told me that this is from the mouth of God. Yahweh. The King James Bible contains the name in code of every single person in the book of life. So now he's saying the King James Bible is the book of life. So all the names of his children can be found in that book. And I know it's true because Timothy P. Smith found his name, his wife's name, other names in the code of the Bible. So then, see, this is where, okay, it's already amazing that he could have written the Hebrew Bible in code, but to create a separate language in a different part of the world that translates perfectly into the book of life with every person's name in it. That's what I saw in heaven, and I fell down on my knees and worshiped him because I could understand what went into it somehow. I can't now, but I could then. But then I was thinking, well, why does he want or maybe want, I'm not sure, Latin spoken in church? What was different about Latin? Because I'm thinking of the time period, and the graves in Rome are so simple and the Bible so complex. I'm trying to think this through. Maybe, well, he hasn't revealed it all yet. There's something about Latin. So then he had me think of what else he could have done. And I'm Lutheran, and I know Luther came up with a Bible. And he shook my head yes, and he said, I put code in there too. The translations, all languages on earth converge with the code in the Bible. If you can't grasp this, don't feel bad. It takes a certain kind of brain. It doesn't mean you're stupid if you have no idea what I'm talking about. It just means your brain works differently. But the level of attention that it would take for someone to write code in multiple different Bibles. And he does this just to keep himself occupied and to impress. But his brain, his mind can't stop. It's perfect. It's... whew. Anyway, he told me a few other things about language. God is the word. And the tongue is this... It's a miracle, really. Oh, some languages are from heaven and some are not. I know English is, French is, Spanish is, Japanese is, but not all of them are. Yeah, I'll tell you how the different nations came about pretty soon, because that's why we have different languages and are different kinds of people. But anyway, our God is beyond magnificent. Okay. I'll probably have more on this, but I just wanted to, I don't know, I guess just share it with people. He's been saying a few times today that anyone who's watched all my videos knows more about God than anyone that's ever lived. Even like all the popes, all the preachers, all the pastors, because of what he's revealed here to the people he's chosen to reveal it to. You're not here by accident. You could hear his voice, and he wanted you to hear it first. So I don't know. I don't know if this will ever spread. I don't know what's coming next. I don't know if any of the things he said in the past will come to pass. But I do know that if you want to have your mind blown and you read the book by Timothy P. Smith, you can't imagine how brilliant God is. I was going to say maybe it's just because our minds, he made them so weak, but no, it's all from him. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day tomorrow. Amen.